Hi, today I'm going to take you through the process to create a new loan request. Let's get started. First thing, just navigate to the big red button, New Loan Request. Select a borrower. Then you can choose whether you want to fill out the loan request by selecting Me, or whether you want to invite your borrower to complete the process. If you select on borrower, we're going to give you a templated message. You'll be able to enter some additional personalized information and then just save and send that to your client. They'll get an email. There'll be a link in that email that will lead them directly to the loan request. They'll have to create an account, but that account will be associated with your account. So whenever they do log in, they'll come to your dashboard type page and they'll be able to see all their deals right there. For the sake of this demo, we're going to select on Me so that we can quickly move through this. Start now. Terrific, let's give it a name. 123 Main Street. Now you could name it whatever you want, but be aware that both the borrower and the lender will be able to see the name, so name it something appropriate that's usually descriptive. I don't know, big red house on the corner, whatever it might be, it's completely up to you. If you happen to use an LOS system and you want to import a file from your LOS system, you could do that right here as well. Any kind of 3.4 XML file will be accepted. You can select long-term or short-term. A short-term deal will be anything 36 months or less. Long-term will be anything longer than that. So the short-term would be your fixed to flips, your bridge, your construction type loans. Select whether it's purchase or refinance, and then continue. Now the first thing I want to point out is that you have a progress meter up here and some controls. Let's look at the progress meter. So there's both a scenario progress meter and an auction progress meter, two separate meters. And that's important because for a scenario, we require less information than we do for an auction. So that's why the meters are guiding you along the process. And you'll see how they apply. Scenarios are blue and auctions are green. And whenever you see the color dots, it lets you know this field is required. So for example, investment style that has both color dots means it's required whether you want to submit a scenario and or an auction. The field right below it, estimated closing date, only has a green color dot indicating that this field is only required for an auction. Now obviously we would encourage you to fill out as much information as you want. This is just guiding you as to what's actually required to submit the deal for either a scenario or an auction. Terrific. Let's get started. I'm going to select an investment type as a long-term rental. I'm going to indicate a further out closing date. I'm going to indicate a purchase price, $450,000. And now I have a couple options of how to enter my target loan amount. I could enter a target loan amount. I could just type in an amount. Let's call that $300,000. Terrific. And then you'll notice it automatically calculates the target LTV and the slider here moved. So all three of these are connected. It doesn't matter which one you choose, whatever's more convenient for you. And as you move them, all the information will adjust. Terrific. Let's make sure that we save often. Starport is not saving this in the background, so try to remember to save as often as you can just in case anything was to happen. We can select a property type, single family residential, all the way through all the others. Making sure to note that if you indicate other, we're going to open up and ask you for a description of that other property so that the lenders know what kind of other property this might be. You can indicate whether this property is occupied or not. This does not mean owner occupied. This just means is there a vacancy or not in the property. We're dealing with rental properties. So for example, if I was to select 5 to 20 unit property, it's going to default to the lowest 5. I could go all the way up to 20, and then it could indicate how many units out of the 20 are occupied. I'm going to say there are 18 units that are currently occupied at the time of this loan request. I could enter an address, and then it could indicate whether this address is rural or not. Since this is your rental property, Starport's asking you for the rental income and expense information. You could enter this by the monthly figure. If you happen to have the monthly figure, let's say there's $2,500 a month in rental income, and you'll notice that we automatically calculate this on an annualized basis. I could do the opposite. I could enter this on an annual basis, and we're going to reverse it back down to the monthly. So however you have the information, you're able to enter it quickly and easily here without getting your calculator. I'm going to save that again. Let's look at product. Here you'll notice there are multiple different checkboxes for multiple different types of loan products. You can select one or more depending on what you and your client think would be appropriate for this particular loan. The more options you indicate, the larger the number of lenders that Starport's going to be able to invite to this particular loan request. But you should only indicate loan products that you or your client might be interested in. If you know you want a full doc loan, then just select full doc. If you know that your client might be open to multiple different options, then select a whole bunch of these and let the lenders come back to you and they'll tell you what they think is the best product. Same thing with these other fields on the product section. You can select one or more and it's the same idea. If you have flexibility, then let the lenders know about that. So the lenders have the greatest ability to craft a program that they think would most appropriate for your deal, and so that Starport has a larger number of lenders in our pool that we can invite to your deal. Looking at borrower funds available, it's very simple. If this is a purchase, you're going to need some kind of a down payment, and we need to know how much money the client has so that we have confidence that they'll be able to actually close on the loan. If they don't have enough money to close on the loan, there's no reason for you, for Starport, or for the lender to go forward with this. So this is quite an important section, and it's one of the first things we're going to need to verify once we get into due diligence. Borrower information, whether there's an entity or an individual. Notice that if you select entity, it's going to open up a couple additional fields for you to complete. You can indicate who the owners are in this particular entity. You're going to be able to enter the ownership, the FICO score. Make sure to check the box if this particular owner is willing to be a signer, and make sure to save. Next, some additional detailed information about the signers. Most importantly, you're going to fill out their citizenship, whether they're a U.S. citizen or a foreign national. Indicate whether they're married and employed. You can indicate their experience level. And here we're going to look for experience within the past 36 months. We're not interested if they owned property 10 years ago. The lenders want to know what they've done more recently. Additional, more detailed information. Indicate the owner with the highest FICO score. The borrower that you originally signed up with, your own client, he might have a 680 FICO score, and somebody else that you noticed on the ownership table has a 720 FICO score. Use the 720 here. Finally, there's a business plan section. This is your area where you can write as much as you want, and we strongly suggest that you tell the lenders what's going on. The lenders don't know anything about this deal if you don't tell them. You're not going to be picking up the phone and calling them. So this loan request, this deal profile that the lenders will review, is their only understanding of the deal. Tell them about it. This is an investment property. It's important that they understand, why does the borrower think this is a good investment? What's their plans for the property? Are they going to renovate it? Are they going to bring in new management? Are they going to remodel it and paint it in order to try to increase the rents? Indicate whatever you possibly can to the lenders. The more, the better. Let's continue and finish the loan request. The final few things that we can do are to ask a question to the lender, to upload a picture or a video, or to upload any documents. Once we've done that, we've finished all the information in the loan request. But wait, we have a problem. We're not able to submit the deal because our progress meters are indicating that we have not reached 100% of all the required fields. So what should I do? Well, it can take a lot of time to try to figure out which individual field amongst all of these are missing information. But if I scroll to the top, I can hit collapse all. Once I do that, I can quickly and easily see that of all the sections, the only section missing something is product. I can easily open product up, realize that a couple of these fields are filled in, but the one that's missing any information is this income doc type. Once I select DSCR or any of these fields, you'll notice that the blue and the green dot appear, and now I'm at 100%. Now I'm able to submit my deal. That's all there is to it. Thank you for watching.